And I came back and I said, where's that old chain at? And she said, it's on the chair. And it was the new chain that I never put on. It's a DVD tower made out of a log. Welcome to Time by the Tent, another weekend here up at the land. Thank you so much for joining me. Got frogs everywhere. So I got up here, the camera wasn't working. It had stopped working on Tuesday morning, I think it was. So that was kind of unexpected. The battery appears to be dead, so I've got the battery charger. And I didn't think anybody would disturb anything up here, but in the year that, almost the year that we've had the property, but you never know. So I had our neighbor and fellow YouTuber Dan from Northwoods Dreams come over and check the property out middle of the week, and everything looked in place. So big shout out to him. Thank you for that. I'm not going to put up our flag from emflag.com simply due to the fact that we have rain moving in this evening and off and on overnight and then tomorrow afternoon, so there's no need to put the flag up knowing it's going to get wet and then leaving tomorrow and possibly putting a flag wet in the box, putting it back away. So I do have the fire started. I'm going to get some baked potatoes up and going, wrapped and thrown in the fire. I've got the battery charger on the battery in which I've had in the tent, and it shouldn't take much charge. And then that one I'm going to top off with water and then take off distilled water and then head off in the woods, because that camera's been a little fidgety ever since we extended that antenna. So I'm going to switch that battery out. I'm not going to take you with me because you've seen me do that several times. And then also switch the SIM card on that one to Verizon from AT&T and see if that strengthens the signal. A neat little fun fact, if you work with these Tacticam cameras, the Reveal X, it's got the dual option of Verizon or AT&T. If you've got if you got several of them like we do and you don't know which SIM card goes to what, you take your camera on your phone and hover over that, and it will on the screen tell you the code or the number for the SIM card that goes in it. Fun little fact there that I found out that'll make working these things a lot easier this year. Also, if you don't have the right SIM card in the camera that's assigned to, they say it won't work at all. I have had it work, but not very good. So I think the no, I thought it would have clicked off. But so that is where I'm at. And the jobs is to finish that DVD stand holder for the house and to get the materials up and finish the deer hanger, put the ladder up for the deer hanger. I've got the trees picked out. If you're not familiar with what that is, you can go back to last week's video and Holly and I put that up there, and that's for hanging deer for butchering out and also getting them up off the ground. So appreciate you coming along with me, and we will see what we can get done. So in the last two videos I've talked about trying to find water and some capacity because there's water in the hole where the flagpole is, and I dug a hole over here the same depth and I never acquired any water. Holly pointed out last week that whenever we put that flagpole in, the ground sleeve, which is the white portion, it is locked in the ground with expanding foam. I forget, some kind of locking foam, two-part epoxy. That is why the water is setting there, is because that water is encapsulated in that epoxy or that foam now, and it doesn't have a way of draining off, so it sets there until it evaporates out. That's why the water is setting there, not because it's acquiring because of the groundwater seeping up. So we figured out that mystery. So I got to put a new chain on the chainsaw here. Last week I had it in my hands. Took the old one off before I started working on that DVD stand. And then Holly got talking, we got talking about something, and I put the old one back on. And I was cutting it, the DVD stand, that log, and I thought, boy, this new chain is really quite dull. But I went ahead and worked what I had, because I was trying to get it done before we needed to get out of here. And I came back, and I said, where's that old chain at? And she said, it's on the chair. And it was the new chain that I never put on. So I'm going to put the new chain on. I've taken the old chain to True Value, because they'll sharpen them for like $8 and do a good job. And I know some of you sharpen your own chain, or your own chains, because it's you find it more affordable. But for about 2 chains a year is what I go through, $16. To me, it's worth having them do it, getting it sharpened correctly, and then that's, you know, I'm not cutting cords and cords and cords of wood. Last year we only, from July to when we closed everything up in late November, only went through 1 chain. So that's the reason why I have somebody else sharpen it. So this is the DVD stand that I will take to the house. I've got a number of hunting DVDs, and this would be a good accent piece in order to have in the corner of what we call the den. I've got 2 more bays to cut out at the bottom there. This one here, the side got a little thin and cracked and broke, so I need to go in as far as these other ones and cut in another inch, and then cut that out so the DVDs will sit in there. And then this one here, I need to clean that little lip up there. These will hold about 9 DVDs per bay at this point. I don't know if I could squeeze 10 out of the bottom 2 or not, but 9 at 2, 4, 6, 7, that's 63 DVDs. I think I've got 51 at this point, and I'm kind of collecting specific series of hunting DVDs. But so I'm going to fire the chainsaw up here and get this completed. There is going to be some cracking, but that's part of the aesthetics, and it's not like something you'd see at a fair or something. This is something I figured out how to do for what I want, and it'll work quite well. And just a little gas, a little time, and it'll look good once the DVDs are all in there. So here it be, a DVD tower made out of a log. Now the bottom 2 will hold, just estimating based on the 3 DVDs I have here, 10 to 11. So let's just go with 10. That's 65 DVDs I could get in here, maybe 66, 67. But it's very rustic looking, and if I would have had the right chainsaw blade on last week and was paying attention to what I was doing, I could have had this done last week, because that took, instead of 9 minutes a bay, like it was last week, it took like 3 minutes a bay, because of that sharp blade. So that is complete now. You saw me cutting everything. I'm thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, where I'm placing my foot, how this chainsaw is pointed, and if it jumps, where is it going to jump to? Simply because, number 1, I don't want to get cut by a chainsaw, and number 2, we're about 45 minutes from the closest hospital. So every move I do out here, I'm thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead. What do I need to do to caution from what may happen? Because it's not like at home where it's 2-minute call or 2 minutes and somebody's there. So I've got to be very specific when I'm walking through the woods, when I'm climbing up the embankment, when I'm running the chainsaw, when I'm dropping trees. How is my escape route? Where, if it's going to jump, where is that chainsaw going to jump at? Is my leg going to be in the way? Okay, let me move my leg. Is the log going to... All these things I'm thinking about, because number 1, I don't like pain. Number 2, really don't have time to go to the hospital with an injury. I don't want to mess with that. So that's my thought process when I'm cutting anything or doing anything up here at the property. So this will go in the den. I'll load it up with DVDs. I can do turkey in one and deer in a couple, and then miscellaneous in it. So I'm very pleased with how this came out. That is one of the rungs, or one of the side rails for the ladder for the deer hanger. I put the DVD holder stand thing in the car, and this was what I cut last week. I need 12 foot, and I'm going to go with the smaller, and then wherever 12 foot is, that down there will just be firewood. We do have a light sprinkle. I don't think it's going to mount anything. I think it's about as strong as it's going to get until later tonight. The potatoes and the fire is going nicely. And then in the morning or tomorrow I'll go out and switch that camera around. I did not do it because it triggered off about 3 pictures. Nothing was on. It got really windy, so that's probably what caused it. But still trying to figure out what move to make on that. So I'm going to take the axe and delimb this, throw them in the fire, measure off 12 feet and get that cut and over by the deer hanger, so half of that is complete. So I acquired 2 of these orange tubs, one with a lid and one without. It's supposed to rain tonight. Pick a number, 1/4 to an inch. And I want to have dry firewood because in the morning I want to try to do cinnamon rolls in the Dutch oven. And I need dry wood and coals for that. If it's too wet and I can't get it going, then I'll have pancakes. But I always want to keep dry wood at the camp. I don't have the wood box ready in the tent yet, so that's will work for that. Just a light rain, nothing too unbearable to deal with. If you're out from underneath the trees, like here, you're going to get more than under the trees. But okay, for supper, we got the baked potatoes going, and then I was going to have chicken, but the chicken breast is still frozen because I took it out of the freezer this morning and probably not last night. So the hamburger never was frozen, so we're in good shape there. It's an 80-20, and I've got the fire going here in the rain. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. It's a little cooler than 375. Apparently that's the way to judge it. If you can't hold it for more than 3 seconds, like 1 Mississippi or whatever it is, it's like 375. Anyway, so I'm going to do 1/4 pounder hamburgers. The rain, from what the TV says, because we have a TV in the tent for the purpose of weather and just entertainment and a DVD player. Rain tonight, possible chance of some thunder, but by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, all gone, partly cloudy, beautiful day. So I will be able to get the deer hanger done and get out in the woods and switch that, which gives me time to charge these batteries up. And I've got a trail camera. I'm going to sit down below the tent where I turkey hunted. There's a trail that runs just below the crest of the hill, and that's where a buck came in behind me one time turkey hunting down there. And then I've also had 2 deer run from behind us and all the way around. So it's not going to be on the cell. I'm not going to put it into the cell on Tacticam. I just want to run it for a couple of weeks, see what shows up, just for the fun of it, since it's right here. And I've got the camera that will be on the network that I can monitor security. So that is what the plan is for now. Didn't expect this much rain to come this early. But what are you going to do? Nice to be up here. It's not freezing cold. It's comfortable. So cheeseburger and potato, baked potato, turned out a lot better than last week's. That is supper. Well, it's going to rain probably all night, like I talked about earlier, and it's supposed to clear out mid-morning tomorrow. I'm going to try to do cinnamon rolls in the morning, and then I've got this container here. It's a big Rubbermaid Tupperware, or Rubbermaid container. I got some stuff in there right now. Got it for free. Saw it on Marketplace. I was going to use it to put my hunting clothes in, because I'm getting more and more hunting clothes and I don't have the space in the current Rubbermaid tub that I have. However, this has been setting out for a long time outside, like somebody's backyard, and it's got that old plastic sunburnt smell to it, and I don't think I can get that smell out of it. So, as you saw last week, we had some critter eat a hole in our 1-gallon gas can. So I thought something was a little off. The gas seemed lighter than what it was. Something has chewed a hole in the gas can. I've gotten a 2-gallon gas can now, and that and the oil and the kerosene and the funnels, that tub is going to set over there. I will level it off and get a couple of big rocks put in the bottom so it doesn't tip over, and that is where that's going to sit to prevent something from eating a hole in the gas can that I've got now. And so it's a free item, will work very well for this application. So that is a tomorrow project, which will take 10 minutes, but just telling you what's going on. If anything happens tonight, you will know. Otherwise, I will see you in the morning, hopefully making cinnamon rolls. Good morning. It was a wet one last night. Rained for I think 11 hours, from 6 o'clock last night to about 5 o'clock this morning. And I think we got another band coming in. It's going to rain for about another hour. So I'm trying to get that to come up on the radar. I thought there'd be a lot more water puddled up around here than what there is, and there's not really much of anything, which is fine. It's very, very porous soil. It's a sandy soil. So nice morning, windy, but so there's another band of rain coming through, and I want to eat. So they got this little camp stove, I think 2 years ago, something like that, at our camping store on sale, and really have not used it very much anyway. Holly made French toast on it a couple of weeks ago, and I've heated water on it during deer camp, but this is where it comes in. I got the table right next outside the tent, so I'm not standing out in the rain when it does come, but once this band clears, then I can get the fire going with that wood that I stored, so I can have chicken for lunch. And then I can hang that trail camera up down there and get the other log and get that ladder done, and then head on out of here. And this cook camp stove will also work over there when we heat water up for rinse-offs. So it will come in handy there, and we won't have to buy like a turkey roasting stand that has like 75,000 BTU. This has 20,000. That should be more than enough to get water warm enough to rinse off. Okay, so there's a break in the rain for about an hour, then another hour of rain, and the rain's over. So I'm going to take this one trail camera I have, not going to hook it up to the network Tacticam, but just going to set it off in the woods here on this trail that I have witnessed deer run through on. Right through there, you can sort of see the path, and whatever other animals, they are coming from back over there. Now that way 30 yards is the property line, and it goes away from where I'm at. It's at an angle, it's not straight. So I'm just going to take this in here and You can see the distinct path here. Just follow the path until we get about 20 yards in here. Now up there, that tree right there is where I sat during turkey hunting, because it was birds across the road on another adjacent property, and I wanted to try to lure them over because that was the only place I had them. Okay, I think that tree there might be a good spot. I'm thinking that one right there, because that kind of oversees what may come through here. That tree right there in front of you. And then that would oversee whatever might be coming through this area. And it might be a little alarming to might be able to see at night what is as close to the camp as would be. So gonna get this hooked up and then head on out. Well, back up to the tent, and then I'll get that tub put together for where the gas and the oil will now be stored. All hooked up and overlooking what would be trail, and I've had deer come through here and then circle around the camp. So kind of interested to see what might be and what might not be coming below camp. Camp is up the hill there 20 yards. Okay, now that that is complete, tucked in there nice, put a couple of big rocks in the bottom, got kerosene, the oil for the chainsaw, gas for the chainsaw, funnel, and we can put other outdoor things in that. And again, an item that was found for free, and it looks really good for what we needed. I don't know how much you pay for something like that, but happy with that. Pays to be diligent on Facebook Marketplace under the free items near me search. Find a lot of stuff that may be practical. The story on that was, I was working on our radio show, editing it, and on a Thursday morning I saw it, and it was just 15 minutes down the road from where I was at, and there was two of them. One was that one, and the second one was identical, but it had a big crack in the lid and the side. So obviously I took the good one and left the bad one there. So you can build a campsite or a permanent camp area or whatever you want, a lot of stuff with free items. People like to get rid of stuff, and you can be the beneficiary on that. Alright, so in the intermittent rain, or here and there or whatever, let's take a look at the garden real quick. Yeah, peppers are still going, eggplants there, onions look good. I don't know, I haven't looked. There's tomatoes in there, started from seed. Beans, I guess I should, on this course, let's walk over here and take a look. Beans are coming up. They're in amongst the weeds, so that's good. Nothing has gotten in here to eat the plants, so that's good. I don't want to snap that. So beans there, pepper, eggplant. Oh, summer squash. Anything come up over here yet? No, nothing yet. Tomatoes from seed, I don't see anything yet, but we continue to look and monitor that. Okay, let's see if we can, boy, I'm shaking you all around. That tree there is what I'm wanting to take down, because that should be diameter enough for the one rung of the ladder. They're not going to be the same diameter, but for what little use this ladder is going to receive, it doesn't have to be precise because I can make it work. And then some of that can be rung material as well. Okay, got it up here. Just wants to fight you every pull and twist. So, top portion going to be used for firewood, like the very tiny stuff. So I'll come up 12 foot. I'll measure the other one. I think it's 12.3. Clean it up. Now this has got a bend in it, which, again, for what little bit this is going to be used for, it'll be perfectly sufficient. And then I'll make it, I think, about 12 inches wide. And I've made many of these type of ladders for permanent tree stands back home. Just knock down 2 trees and start hammering away. So, significantly smaller in diameter, I think probably about 2 inches in that one, but we're going to make it work. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Not a very exciting weekend, a lot of rain, and a little finishing up odds and ends from last weekend, but that's the way it goes. So, I will get this cut and start putting the ladder together. There is the completed ladder. I didn't need to do the rungs at the top because when I stand on the top rung, I'm already exceeding the top of the deer hanger. So it saved me 6 nails and 6 boards, or 6 rungs. So very pleased with this. This side here is got a little arch in it. That's why it looks a little optical illusionic. You can see the bend there. That's okay. I'm fine with that. This ladder is going to be used maybe 3 to 8 minutes a year, based on how many deer I'm able to harvest. Go up there, string the pulley system up, come down, pull it up, hook it up with the carabiner that will be with the big game hanger, and it is complete. Well, the rain came right as I got the deer hanger done, and that's going to wrap things up. I'm not going to sit here. It's supposed to clear out and be nice, but everything's a soggy, wet mess. So, appreciate you coming along. Not as long of a weekend as I anticipated, but thank you so much for doing such. Let's put rain in the comments below. Let me know that the 4 people that made it this far. And until next time, I will see you then.